Hi everyone, don't worry, there's plenty to discuss this week. I got a lot of nice posts through my letterbox, but before I discuss the movies, I do just want to say that I wasn't sure if I was going to be making this video today. I was deliberately leaving it until a Wednesday, midweek now, because the podcast goes on the YouTube channel usually on a Sunday. And yesterday I ended up at accident and emergency in the local hospital. No big deal. I had some chest pains, got checked over, got the all clear. They did say that after an illness or infection, you can sometimes get rubbing between the linings of the lungs. I think there are two different kind of linings there. You can get some friction and irritability. Obviously at my age, it gets a little bit worrying when that happens, even though it seemed quite high up. And I knew that I didn't have any problems elsewhere on my body. But I wanted to go get that checked out, so I had to leave work early and get that done. Why I'm saying this here is because I was there probably about 5.5, 6 hours. And I don't know, I have no problems with having to sit and wait. I know that some people are in pain when they sit and wait. And I know some people are even more worried, and that worry builds. I understand that, but generally, if you have to be at a hospital, particularly at this time of the year, and you're seeing the NHS workers busy around and you're wondering what's going on, like, they're not deliberately ignoring you. They're not leaving you there forever and dismissing you as a low priority. They are trying to work through everything. Like, if you sit there a while and you're watching people come and go, and you're wondering about how long everyone has sat in their different spaces, just watch the staff instead, and watch how often they're in and out and in and out and calling on different patients and trying to look after people. And that's constant for them. You know, that could be, you might think you have a bad day at work, but you know, if you're not on a busy shift in the NHS, in the hospitals or the accident and emergency room, then your workday is probably not as loaded up and not as stressful. And I'm always appreciative of the NHS, and I always fully support them, and I just love what they do. So if you do have the misfortune to end up there, particularly at this time of year, please be patient, be kind, and you know, appreciate what they do, as opposed to what can't be done. You know, basically time travel and miraculously clearing the queue ahead of you. So that is that. Now let's get to the important stuff. The health is done, and I'm sitting there thinking, do I have any regrets? I'm like, no, I just want to watch more of the movies in my cinema room, and I've bought even more. So where shall we begin? Quite the cluster. Let's begin quite simple. I bought this one last week and forgot to mention it on the video. I don't know when I'll get around to watching this, because I don't think it'll be a high priority, but how wonderful is this? Cooking Price-wise, all 6 episodes of Vincent Price's legendary TV cooking show. I couldn't think of anyone better to enjoy a cooking show with. It's probably quite old-fashioned in its approach, but you'll have Vincent Price's banter, and it'll be a delightful look back into peak 1970s cookery. There's a load of special features on this. This is a fantastic release from the BFI. This kind of thing sums up the interesting and wonderful times that we live in. And you know, I might end up prioritizing this. I might just have a day where I watch all 6 episodes of Vincent Price's cooking show. I might even convince my partner to watch it with me. Who knows? Who knows? She likes cooking shows. I might just say, oh, it's a new cooking show, we'll try it. So I couldn't let this week pass and forget about that again. Now, I've been wanting to pick this up for a while, and I now have a Blu-ray player that I can make multi-region, but there's also DVD access that's multi-region. So generally, I'll have a way to watch these. I've seen both of these. I have a soft spot for both. It is the TerrorVision Video Dead double set. If you haven't seen either, then you should. if you're a fan of 80s schlocky horror, I believe they were both in the 80s. When I first saw Television, it was so strange, felt quite surreal. I think I saw Television before I'd seen anything featuring Elvira, and didn't realise I had a clue that the hostess in the story was kind of riffing on Elvira, but wasn't certain of that. And the video Dead is just like, it's really low budget fun. Has some decent gore in it, and also has a zombie that looks very much like a David Bowie zombie. So there's that going for it. Eureka announced I want to say a 6, maybe 7 film sets of the 60s Dr. Mabuse films. Mabuse? I'm not sure. Anyway, I pre-ordered that, which made me realise I actually hadn't picked up the original movies. So I got those. I say movies. I'm not sure if they were initially presented as movies, because this one is 271 minutes. What's that, 4.5 hours? This one is only a brisk 2 hours and 2 minutes, I think, 122 minutes. So, yeah, both by Fritz Lang, both celebrated classics. I will see when I can make time for those. I've never seen any. That Eureka set really tempted me immediately, and then looking through the site and through my own collection, I thought I never did pick up the first 2 titles. I should do that. The completist of me needs to do that, and yeah, I'll see what they're like one day. Now, some more new stuff to me. Marco Polo, The Pirate, Boxer Rebellion, and 4 Riders. 4 historical epics by Chang-Chi. Horrible history. There we go. Not tied with the fun children's TV program Horrible Histories that I've mentioned on the podcast a few times. I think I've made us watch at least one of them. There are some audio commentaries and special features on there, but mainly I will be checking out the films. I've been speaking a lot on our Discord and martial arts movie Discord. I'll put the links below, about different, obviously, martial arts movies and different world cinema. And that is, again, when you have conversations with other film fans, you're reminded of blind spots, you're thinking of films that you haven't seen, you're thinking of whole sections of cinema that you're slightly more ignorant about, and then you start to explore them and you want to delve deeper, and it's usually rewarding, but it's also, you become slightly worried as you realise the levels of your ignorance. And particularly when it comes to, I'm going to say Chinese cinema, more than any other sort of branch of cinema, really. I'm going to say Chinese and Hong Kong cinema. Like Japanese cinema, I've seen more of, and that sort of stemmed from the J-horror wave, of course. But then from there, you go back to the gangster films and the I've got the Arrow sets that were the Nikatsu films, quite a few of those. When it comes to films from China, I didn't realise I was quite so lacking in my exposure to them. So it's actually quite a big blind spot. When it comes to films from different territories in the world, I can kind of check off a lot, via a list and be like, right, I've seen a lot of those. Now, that's not to mean that I'm necessarily knowledgeable about them, but I have had times where I've dived into certain geographical areas and enjoyed exploring those pools. So, yeah, those areas might not be ones that I go to often, whereas films from China, Hong Kong are films that I know I would get a lot out of, and I should try and learn more about, sort of remember some of the big names in front of and behind the camera, and just delve into, because there's a lot for me to enjoy there, specifically. Speaking of lots to enjoy, Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, you can see the ring light reflected there. Yeah, Galaxy Quest. I had to cave in and get. I mean, it's another 4K release because of the steelbook, and it's just. I mean, inside is just the little alien dudes. You've got that nice artwork on the back. With this is it's some anniversary. I want to say 30th anniversary. No, it doesn't say anywhere on there. 25th annual convention. Maybe it's the 25th. And lots of goodies in here. A fan poster, postcards, stickers. Obviously, Alan Rickman's says by Grabthar's Hammer. Another poster there. There we go. And character cards. It's a really nice set, but there's also some nice extras on the disc. I could be wrong, but I don't think we ever did get the kind of super release here in the UK that fans of Galaxy Quest thought it deserved. So, although this is like a 4K steelbook set, I basically got it because it has the special features. It's got the other stuff on there that we've had before, but it's got the deleted scenes and just other stuff that that I've always been jealous was on other releases that we didn't get here in the UK, although you could look things up on YouTube and that. Now, last but by no means least, I decided to cave in with another Curzon set, Bellatar, because who doesn't want to spend their weekend watching a selection of very slow-paced and deliberate Bellatar movies? I've seen a few. I've seen actually more than I first thought. So this is my third Curzon set, if you're keeping count. I recently got the Wim Wenders, and I've had the Peter Strickland for a while. This is, I mean, wow. It is just, let's see. As Adam said to Eve, stand back. I don't know how big this thing gets. There's an old joke for you. So, there we go. Really nice selection. I believe it's all of Bellatar's features and a number of shorts. There's also, Jesus, kind of a bit wary of taking this out here. Right, there'll be a couple of posters there folded up. There'll probably be the BFI or Curzon posters. More there. And a really nice booklet of writing on the director and his films. Bellatar, Will Heaven Fall Upon Us? The Cinema of Bellatar by Kelly Powell. I don't know if there are different writers here or if it is just the one. Oh, here we go. The Collaborators Forging a Vision in the Films of Bellatar by Ian Hayden Smith. Of Character and Landscape, creating the artwork for Bellatar. That's an interview talking to Paul West. Nadine May. There's quite a lot to get there. If you have not seen the work of Bellatar, it's very what's the word? Like, it would test the patience of a mainstream movie viewer. I think it would test the patience of a art house movie viewer. He's not on the same level as Lav Diaz, who is a name I often mention when it comes to testing patience and going on about long run times and sort of languorous, maybe, cinema experiences. But he's definitely a filmmaker that is kind of trying to command you to stay patient, watch the screen, watch things unfold at their own pace, and then keep chewing things over while it's happening, and then long after the credits have rolled. And that isn't always easy. I think it's good to have conversations once you've seen Bella Tarr movies, but also not easy to have those conversations because not everyone is rushing out to see the latest Bella Tarr movie. You know, it's not going to open big against Wicked. I believe The Touring Horse was his last film. I believe he did state at the time that would be his last feature. He'd done all he wanted to do. He'd said all he needed to say. And I remember a friend went to see it at the Edinburgh Film Festival. I did as well. Really enjoyed it. But a friend went to the public screening and met Bella Tarr outside. I think they were having a cigarette or just a break. And they weren't sure what to say. They were a big fan, but they just basically complimented him and said it must be nice to be in the position where you've said all you wanted to say in cinema. And I think my friend has that as a cherished memory, and hopefully Bella Tarr took that in a really nice complimentary way it was intended. So that is it. That is the selection for this week. It's another big selection. Christmas has come early in the cinema room, so lots to get through and very little time to do so because it is the Christmas movie viewing schedule. And since I last spoke to you, I've seen even more. I won't waste your time with them here. They will probably be mentioned on the podcast this week. And unfortunately, you won't escape me this week if you're a fan of the Not a Bomb podcast, because it has happened at last. I am there. I spoke to Troy and Brad. It was wonderful. I will put the link for their podcast below. I've been a big fan of their stuff since I first got into their episodes, and I love their approach. I forgot to say to the guys when we recorded, I did praise them effusively, but I like the fact that Not a Bomb explores bombs, either sort of critically or commercially, but a lot of the time they either they find ways to be positive in their talk about the movies, whether they are being generally positive about the movie anyway because it's a bomb that they don't think is a bomb, or whether they're digging around for positive elements despite the fact that they can totally understand why people didn't respond to it. That's always the best part of it, is it could have such negative connotations and it basically turned that into something really positive, as people continue to do with the community, between podcasts, between Not a Bomb, between the sort of the Granddaddy Gentleman's Guide to Midnight Cinema, Watch It Plus, which may be on a hiatus at the moment. I'm talking to Jose and trying to sort of find out what's happening there. Hopefully that will be back soon. Night of Living podcast, I love. The Cinema, Dawn of the Dead, again, I'll mention. I'm probably forgetting one or two. There are even newer ones that have popped up in the last year that I've been trying to check out that I enjoy. So I'm going to put a selection of links below and share the love, and hopefully sometimes people share the love back, and it's nice when that happens. That's it for now. Be well. I will see you next week. I don't know if there's much more posts due by then. I'll probably get in trouble if there's too much. I say that every week. Yeah. Speak soon. Bye.